Okay, all right. Good day, everyone. So this is JR. I'm the next reporter to continue the Bureau of Labor Relations. So now I'm going to start Title 4 Labor Organizations, Chapter 1 Registration and Cancellation. But before I start, I'd like you to imagine this. What if a group of workers formed their own association, but it was never recognized by the law? Could they negotiate for higher wages? Could they demand better working conditions? All right, the answer is no. That is why the law requires a clear process for the registration of labor organizations. Without registration, a labor organization has no legal personality, which means it cannot represent employees in negotiations, cannot enter into collective bargaining agreements, and cannot enjoy the rights given by the labor code. That's why we are going to tackle this one, Article 234 to 240. So earlier, Ms. Giganto already discussed the Bureau of Labor Relations. To continue that, I'm going to discuss Article 234, which is the requirements of registration, going to the Article 240, equity of the incumbent. I will discuss Article 234 to 240 of the Labor Code, which explains how a labor organization can register, how applications are processed, what happens if the registration is denied, the additional requirements for federations and national unions, and finally, the possible grounds for cancellation. Dili lang nato basahon ang balaod, no, or kaning labor organizations on chapter 1, but yeah, ato i-relate siya with the tinuod nga situation or gamitan nato og mga example aron masayon nato siya masabtan. By the end of this discussion rather, we will clearly see how these provisions protect both the workers and integrity of labor organizations. So now let's start with Article 234, which is the requirements of registration, in the next slide. So here, yeah, Article 234 talks about the requirements of registration. So to become a legitimate labor organization, the law requires specific documents and conditions in the Article 234, starting with the 50 registration fee, submit names and addresses of officers plus principal address of the union, minutes of organizational meetings, and the list of workers who join. At least 20% of employees in the bargaining unit must be a members. Annual financial reports of the union is more than a year old. 4 copies of the Constitution and bylaws, minutes of adoption or ratification of members who participated. So for example, let's imagine no na natay sa manufacturing company nga na siya employee nga 200 ka buok. Trabahante or ang katong mga trabahante nag-decide sila nga maghimo og labor union. Dili pwede nga 10 lang ang moapil atong 200 ka buok. It's because the law requires nga at least 20% of the workforce. So kung 200 to sila ka buok ang empleyado, at least 40 ka buok ang kinahanglang mamiyembro sa katong union. Unya kinahanglan pud sila katong 40 ka buok og mahimo of course the constitution and bylaws which protect the union, the election of officers, og mag-submit po sila og minutes of the meeting. Money ang mga ways para ma-prove na legitimate jud ang ilang organization, dili lang basta-basta nga organization. So that's it for the requirements of registration, which is Article 234. So yeah, nahibaw naman nato unsa ang mga requirements of the registration. Now let's proceed with the action on application, which is in Article 235. So yeah, earlier gidiscuss man to ni Ms. Giganto ang Bureau of Relations. Here, diri magamit ang action on application, which it's because the Bureau of Labor Relations must act within 30 days from the filings. Like for example, all documents must be certified under oath by the Secretary or Treasurer and attested by the President. Like for example, kung like ang union nag-file of registration from September 1, yeah, dili pwede i-pending to December because by September 30 kinahanglan na ni decision approve ba siya or denied. It's because the Bureau must the law requires in Article 235 that the Bureau must act within 30 days of filing. So, mao na siya, if September 1 siya gi-file, o dapat by September 13 na siya decision whether approve ba siya or deny. So, this prevents delays. Remember, every day nga wala pa ma-approve ang registration, wala pa dyan legal power ang katong union or organization nga ilahang gi-apply. So, mao na siya ang Article 235, Action on Application. Now, let's proceed with the Article 236, or the denial of registration or appeal. So, like for example, ang katong application ninyo, if denied siya sa katong Bureau of Legal, sa katong Bureau of Labor Relations rather, if na-denied to siya, the union has 10 days to appeal within to the Bureau. So this ensures fairness. Unions can correct mistakes or contest unjust denial. So mao ni siya ang remedy sa union if ever nga ma-deny ang ilahang registration sa Bureau of Labor Relations, gaan sila 10 days. So for example, suppose wala na ni submit ang minutes sa meeting, or like for example, ang katong union nga ako ang gi-example earlier nga kanang mag-make sila union nga wala sila nakasubmit og minutes sa meeting. So, gideny ang application. Pero, dili siya automatic nga end of the road na dayon to ang ilahang application. They can still fix their mistake and appeal within 10 days. And this way, dili sayang ang ilang effort o struggle sa pag-organize. So, kailangan, sa Article 234 palang galidaan, dapat kumpleto na to siya ang mga requirements sa registration. Kay para in an action of application, dili siya ma-deny. So, mao na siya bisan minutes of the meeting ra siya, needed siya kay since part man siya sa requirements. Mo na siya ang Article 236. Now, let's proceed with the Article 237, which is the additional requirements for federations or national unions. So, mo na siya, federations or national unions need stricter requirements since they represent multiple industries or companies. So, based ani nga kanang article, it must have at least 10 locals or chapters that are recognized as CBAs. So next is submit names and addresses of the companies and list of the members. Mao na siya ang additional requirements for federation and national unions. Para masabtan pa jud nato og maayo, mao ni siya iyang example. So like let me think. So, kung ang Teachers National Federation or gusto magparehistro, kinahanglan na sila local chapters. Like for example, na sila Cebu Teachers Union, napod sila Davao Teachers Union. For example, good sa JPEA, right? If kapamilya mo sa JPEA, naman dyan sa Cebu Federation JPEA, naman dyan may mga local chapter like UC Maine JPEA, mana siya local chapter, USC JPEA. So, mana siya ang kanang sa additional requirements for federation also nga, must have at least 10 local chapters. So, balik ta sa Teachers National Federation. So, kailangan na siya Cebu Teachers Union, Davao Teachers Union, o uban pa. So, each chapter must also recognize as the bargaining agent sa ilahang school. Mo ni ang mga requirement kay dako kayo ang powers sa federations, dili lang usa ka kumpanya ilang represent kay also daghan pud sila ang gi-represent. Mo na siya ang mga additional requirements for federation. Next is Article 238, which is katong na repealed na siya sa katong executive order, pero ato Japan ni siyang itakol. It's because this is very important. So federations can only organize in the industry or region. Then next is local chapter organized under them having the same rights as if registered. So the Bureau, mo na siya ang Article 238, kani siya repealed but important for context. But napod ng isang Article 238, repealed Japan siya, but yeah, worth noting sa siya, it's because important factors sa siya, which is kaning cancellation of registration. Like, the Bureau can cancel registration if the union no longer meets their requirements. So, a due hearing is required before cancellation. So, mo ni siya, for example, kung ang union nga sa usa ka factory nagsugod nga na ay 25% membership, pero after a year, daghan na resign o nawala na ang 20% minimum. The Bureau can start cancellation the proceedings, pero dili dayon na siya ma-cancel. It's because kinahanglan siya og due process or kanang hearing. So, mo na siyang gipasabot sa 238. It's an important factor kay worth noting po siya kay important po na siya sa mga union nga para mahibaw-an sila nga nasa due process ang pag-cancel sa ilaha if ever. Next is proceed ta sa 239 in the next slide. So mo ni siya ang Article 239 or grounds for cancellation of union or registration. For example, some valid grounds for cancellation include mo na siya mga fraud or misrepresentation in constitution or bylaws. So mao to siya fraud or misrepresentation in constitution and bylaws or election, failure to submit reports such as financial, election, or membership, acting as labor contractor and engaging in the KABU system, then entering into CBAs before below minimum standard, then collecting unauthorized fees, or non-compliance with Article 237 and 38 or failure to comply with that article. So like for example, kung ang union officers kay kanang like giatik-atik nila ang ilahang election result. Example, gi-claim nila nga 100 ang botante pero 50 ra jud ito ang botante, which is fraud ra ba siya. So it can cause cancellation sa ilahang registration if ever. Next kay kung ang union nangulikta og negotiation fee gikan sa employer, illegal na siya because dapat voluntary authorization ra ba ang sa members nga moy na. So since nangulikta man siya negotiation fee, so nilabag siya sa katong Article 239 or well, excuse me, qualify siya sa 239. So mao na siya ma-cancel na to siya. Another example pud kay kung ang union ang so like kato union ang ulikta og negotiation fee. So klaro kaayo nga ang law dili gusto nga union mahimong kanang abusive, right? So instead the law protects the members from exploitation. So mao na siyang nandiyan na siya grounds for cancellation of union registration. So mao na siya ang Article 239. Well, arito sa Article 240, which is last part siya sa ako ang report, which is the equity of the incumbent. So existing federations, national unions that meet qualifications remain legitimate even if affiliates are in different industries. So federation or national unions that already existed that are legitimate may continue to have affiliates even if in the different industries. For example, na federation na affiliates sa education, like sa akong example before, o sa healthcare industry before pa nausap ang rules, dili sila pugsan nga mawala ilahang affiliate. They are allowed to continue because they were already recognized. So muna siya iyahang simple explanation sa equity of the incumbent. So muna siya. So in summary, the registration and cancellation process for labor organization is not just bureaucracy, but it is shield and a filter, right? So it is shield because it protects workers by ensuring their organizations are recognized by the law, giving them the right to negotiate and fight for better conditions. Now, mabitang na sila mga remedies, right? So it is a filter because it prevents fake, abusive, or corrupt unions from exploiting workers. So some of these articles remind us that law always aims for balance, giving workers the power to organize while holding organizations accountable. Okay, if there is no proper registration, Raba, anyone could claim to represent workers even without legitimacy. Mo nang naa-adjun siya ang mga registration requirements. If there is no cancellation process, mo rise pud ang abusive unions could stay in power forever. So therefore, these rules exist so that the true voice of the workers or like ang tinuod nga tingog sa mga empleyado will always be heard, protected, and respected. So thank you, everyone.